Alright, and here's the video review for Action Toys Machine Robo Series 01, actually after all this time, Bike Robo from Machine Robo Revenge of Kronos. If you watched GoBots in the 80s, which was based off of this line, you'll recognize it as Psykill, although not a bad guy in this one from what I understand. So yeah, it's a little weird seeing him without his 5 o'clock Robo Shadow in bot mode, but there he is. He's a little motorcycle. His kickstand flipped up. Comes in the same kind of packaging as the others, with Luke K from Awakened Studio, the one who designed it. I'd like that they credit the designers on the bottom of their box. He does come with, and I'm not going to pull this one out because it's the same as all the other ones. Okay, fine then. All the other ones, but he does come with the same stand pieces that all the previous ones have come with the same configurations and things. I haven't even taken it out of the package yet, but it's still taped shut. But when I set up my display to set him in there, I'll take it out. But he does include all the stand parts that all the previous ones did, as well as his little instruction sheet here. Bike Robo. Not currently attached to the robot here is his stand port that'll go on his robot mode, and his axe. Now the axe, in fact, actually can supposedly store here in bike mode. There's a little clip under there, up in the wheels, that the handle for the axe can store in. It's a little bit, you kind of have to work to get it to slot in there, but you can kind of slot that in there on the back of the bike as storage, if you really want to. We'll take that off. And to turn him into a robot, you see he's got this little kickstand over here, and this kickstand can attach to either side. Maybe it'll stand better over there. Yeah, it is a little bit more secure on this side, but I had it on the other side because if you leave it on the other side, you can actually kind of fold it up into his leg for robot mode. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take it off for transformation, because you don't really need it to make the bike roll. The wheels do turn, which is nice. They spin quite freely. But other than that, he's pretty much just in... Oh, came untabbed. He's just a little motorcycle here. Now, to transform him, you do pop these handles off. They're separate pieces, which a little bit of a shame, but I can kind of understand why they did it, and we'll deal with those here in a minute. So yeah, here he is. You're going to go ahead and untab this part since we've already done it. There's a couple little tabs that slide into his chest. Lift these little pieces. You don't have to rotate these up out of the way, but I find it just makes it a lot easier if you go ahead and just rotate those up and out of the way there, which will let you move his legs freely. So unpeg the legs here from the back, and go ahead and unpeg that one single wheel from the back here. Bring them down. You come in here, and what's nice is they even sculpted a little tab. A lot of things I've had lately have not had proper ways of getting at them to get them from where they're folded into. But he has a nice little tab there to pop his foot up, and then you can rotate this whole thing out and around like that. And then this panel folds down, just like this. And then the outer side of this panel folds down, and there's a little tab here that tabs in to the side of the exhaust pipe to hold that in place. It locks that in place for robot mode, and then a little panel right there to fill in the leg. You just bring that leg down, and it's exactly the same over here. Use that little tab to get the foot out. Again, thank you so much for that little tab. It's so, excuse me. It seems like such a minuscule thing, but it's so nice when companies think about, how do we get this out of here now that we folded it in? Yeah, make sure that tab's in there. Flip that down. Bring the foot down, and bring the whole leg down. And at this point, you can take these panels and rotate them around and clip them together to form the front of his waist. Like that. And then this whole, actually, pop those back open here. Push this whole assembly up into there. You'll see that kind of tabs in there. Like that. Go ahead and take the wheel out of his forearms. Pull the arms out into the side like this. Rotate them down. And then this whole assembly slides down like that. Rotate his arms forward, take the wheels, peg him into his shoulders like that. Oh, that one didn't peg in all the way. And there is Bike Robo in robot mode. Now, I talked about these handles earlier. Some people have pegged them in here as heels, which you can absolutely do if you want a little bit more heel support. You can plug that in and get some rear support on that. What I like to do, and again, like I said, if you left the exhaust pipe, or not the exhaust pipe, the kickstand, pegged in here behind the exhaust pipe on this side, you can do it on either side, but on the other side it kind of hangs down behind the exhaust pipe and gets in the way a little bit. You can leave this folded up in here, and it will sit inside the leg like that. That's a way to store it if you want to use the kickstand. What I've found is, aside from just attaching to the heels, and I've seen them on the inside, the outside, folded up like this, however you want to attach them, but I found that if you lift this up, there's a little slot. Oh, knocked his wheel off. We'll put that back on in a minute. There's like a little slot here between these two pieces, and if you take, let's see, is that this handle? Yeah, that's this handle. If you take this right here and slide this so the tip of this goes in this slot, and it sits over the exhaust pipe like that, when you tab this in, this actually pushes the whole piece in there, and it sits in. You can see it's not wobbling. It stores right there in the leg. You can wobble it a little bit and wiggle it a little loose, but when this panel pushes in and locks into the exhaust pipe, it stores right there in the leg, and that's where I prefer to store them. But like I said, there are options. You can leave them out entirely and just put them off to the side if you don't mind parts forming. You can put them on the heels. I like to store them right there in the legs. There's no official, they don't slot in, nowhere in the instructions do I see it attached to his heels or in these legs. These are all kind of where we've decided to stick them for our own personal preference. But like I said, that's mine. But there are plenty of other ways to lock those in there. He can hold his little axe, of course, which fits right in either hand. And like I said, it's weird to not have him have the angry orange face. Just have kind of a generic, friendly-looking face here in robot mode. Poseability wise here, he's actually pretty good. His head can move up and down a little bit. Because of this cowling, it doesn't turn side to side, and of course it is not difficult to pop those wheels off. But so he's got a little bit of side to side motion, but he kind of has to also look down a little bit to do it, to get that cowl out of the way. But his head is on a ball joint. He's got ball joints in here at the shoulders. Right, so they're a little limited due to the shape of the cowling, but because of that angle, you can get some pretty decent range of motion out of the shoulders. Swivel at the bicep, hinge elbow, and that's it. His wrists themselves don't swivel. He does have waist swivel here. Ball joint hips, thigh rotation, a ball joint there at the knee, so you can get a lot of good rotation out of that. The foot is on the little ball joint here, so you can get some side-to-side rotation, as well as the hinge back here, so you can bring it down and out and get a lot of really decent range of motion out of the foot. You can bring it forward from leaning forward poses, and that piece will come down to support it. And again, if you do attach these back here to these pieces, you might, there's some more stability you can get in some crazier poses if you wish. But yeah, another fun, solid little figure in the Machine Robo line. I've got the other three over here. Oh, and then to put them on the stand, this little piece right here slides up under here and goes into the slot where the axe attached in vehicle mode, and then onto this tab as well. So you take this whole piece and tab it on there, and there you've got the piece that can attach him to the stand. So quick size comparisons with the other ones. Of course, here he is with Eagle Robo, the analog for Leader 1, who was his nemesis in the old cartoon. Much shorter, but, motorcycles are smaller than jets. Here he is with Drill Robo and Battle Robo. So there's all 4 of the first wave of these guys. Like I said, they're solid, fun toys. If you had any sort of nostalgia about GoBots, these are great little modern renditions of them. Or if you had a nostalgia for Machine Robo, some people do. I dig them. Like I said, Bike Robo is pretty cool, and I'm happy to add them to the shelf. So there he is, Machine Robo Series 01 Bike Robo. Thanks for watching.